we're live. Okay. Now I just gotta post it to the page. People will start filtering in here.
Right, let's see if this works. All right, if I'm not mistaken, we're live now, and the draft is underway with BBW versus LLC.
Yep, we're live. We did it.
Yeah.
All right, hello everyone. Welcome to PMALCS Week 2 action. We have LTC Inc. versus BBW tonight, and we have a couple of subs. Well, I don't know about a couple, but Blue is definitely subbing in for BBW. And Pickban is already underway, so Glacial, why don't you go ahead and take away with Pickban? Let me know what you think and what you see there.
Yeah, the first, the Bandits of Bulgewater, living up to their name with the Misfortune first pick there, the high priority. I believe that's for the Bardar, although the Bardar is subbed out for Blue, it looks like. So Blue will be playing ADC, is that correct? Seems to be the case.
Seems that way.
All right, so they're going for the Wombo comp here. This is a classic, Misfortune Rel. Often you'll see those two paired together. With the Galio on top means if you're actually able to land the buttons in the fights, you're going to win about 98% of the time. On the other side, the Caitlyn response from LLC, or is this L? Oh, large. It's LTI Inc. Is that the team?
I don't know why it's LLC.
I think
It's
so.
LTI is technically but they put LLC for some reason. I'm not sure if that's a typo. I called it LTI in the last game that I casted. So.
Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, that'll be Zepho playing the Caitlyn there, which I really like to see because last week he just played Mel and he played Ziggs, and he kind of just farmed and his team lost the game. And when you're a Masters player in this league, there's a lot of pressure on you to be the carry for your team because a lot of draft stock was invested picking you early in the draft. I really like the Caitlyn because that's something that he can show his skill on. He has the tools there to dominate the lane and then scale into the late game and be the carry his team needs. To support that, they go with the Jarvan. Jarvan's really good for getting on top of those immobile carries. Stuff like Misfortune, it's pretty easy to ult. The thing you'll have to be careful of as Jarvan, though, is the amount of counter engage on the side of BBW. You have to pick your fights well, because otherwise you're going to get a Galio ult to the face, and things are not going to go too well.
I feel like Rel Galio Jarvan's gonna be having a tough time getting in.
Yeah. And you see them immediately pivot away from that kind of jump in engage style with the Janna pick, which actually signals that they're going to be wanting to play like the longer con disengage style. So
picked away pretty big here.
Yeah, they ban away Ornn and Set from I believe Jimmy Big Balls, which kind of makes sense. Both of those can function really well as an engage or counter engage, and those are champions that I believe he can play pretty well. On the other side, Ivern getting banned away and Urgot getting banned away. Urgot's a champion that in a vacuum can be very hard to beat, and if they want to go for that top lane pick, which they do, they want to make sure that Malphite's going to have a little bit easier time here. Now, stuff like the Silas is still open, and that can change the draft in a big way. So we'll see if
Yeah,
BBW actually end up opting for that.
LTI going a little bit. Seems a little bit discombobulated a bit in this draft. Go with the Jarvan, maybe pivot with the Janna, and then they go with the Malphite pick. Kind of like, are you in or are you out? What's the story here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely not really super cohesive. They have the tools that they need to fight, but if they just end up engaging and then they get counter engaged on by Galio or Rel, things could look bad. The Diana and the Scion locked in, so just a really heavily all-in engaged comp. Scion picked up in the top side, usually gets the better end of that tank matchup in the top lane, but both of them just trying to be meatballs for their team late into the game.
Yeah, interesting to see what they picked last here. Something okay, with Vigar being looked at. That's going to be able to create a little bit of space. But again, kind of confusing what they're trying, how their team fight's going to look. Vigar
Yeah,
kind of leading to that disengage type properties, similar to the Janna.
they
Maybe following
played
up Malphite or Jarvan with the cage.
yeah, LTI played with a sub last week. They played with Bear. This is Riff Raff's first game of the season, and he's gonna go for the Vagar pick.
There you go.
As one of their tier 1 players, I'm excited to see how this roster looks different. This game, they had the misfortune last week of having to play against MNM with their full roster. So Akira, Korn, two Masters players on one team, obviously going to be tournament favorites coming in, and they kind of showed why they're those early favorites against this team. But now against BBW, who's still a strong roster, I'm excited to see how they do with the full lineup.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this Caitlyn first pick. You don't see that too often. Is she in
Yeah.
a good spot right now? What's your thoughts on the Caitlyn?
Um, I don't want to say she's like the highest prio AD carry right now, but I also don't think there's a ton of extremely high prio AD carries in general. We saw Jinx, Jin banned away, so automatically that makes Caitlyn a little better because the Jin matchup, especially, it's not really one that's super easy for her to get a lead in. The Misfortune matchup, Caitlyn should have, should be winning early, but if Misfortune's able to get to her Bloodthirster on a semi reasonable pace, as soon as she gets that, she's kind of going to be shutting out Caitlyn's opportunities to bully her out of lane. It's just a lot of sustain to deal with there. But if Caitlyn does actually have a strong lane and is able to make it past the point mid game before she's gotten her like 3 or so crit items, if she's able to get through that point of the game well, then she turns into a super huge carry in the late game, and she has the damage to kill any player on the side of BBW. On the other side, BBW might have some concerns dealing with stuff like the Malphite. Misfortune's not the best tank shredder. She can kind of kill tanks after you get LDR, but it's not like the optimal pick for that. Whereas Caitlyn with like the headshot, it's a lot more DPS for those kind of champions.
Yeah, I just feel like they don't have enough damage really to get through Scion, Galio, Rel. I mean, I don't know. Just looking at the team comps, BBW's team seems a little bit easier to pull off, as well as the plan for the damage is pretty clear. Whereas on LTI, you're really hoping this Vigar can scale and Caitlyn can get ahead early. Otherwise, I mean, unless you go full AP Malphite, I'm not sure where the burst comes from.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of this game rides on Zepho. Last week, he was on the mage. He just did his thing. This week, he's on the
Yep.
Caitlyn. In order to be effective on the Caitlyn, you have to carry. You have to be doing the damage. You have to have a strong lane. You have to be able to transfer that into the mid game well. And late game, these team fights aren't going to be easy. If Caitlyn gets hit by a Rel engage, she's going to die. If Diana gets a good ultimate off, she's going to die.
Yep.
So you have to position smart. You have to position in a way where you can still deal as much damage as you can. That goes for most ADCs, but Caitlyn in particular, it's super punishing because once they get on top of you, your 90 caliber net isn't going to save you from what BBW is putting to the table.
But on the small chance Caitlyn gets out of all of that, I don't think there's a way that Scion, Galio, Misfortune, Rel can get to Caitlyn if they miss that opportunity at the beginning of the fight.
Yeah, they do have to make sure they land their combo, and if they don't, like you said, Jan is good at keeping the players on her team alive, making sure Caitlyn can stay alive, get people off her, help her deal extra damage. It's definitely potent, but we'll have to see how it works. I'm interested to see how Jarvan approaches this game, because I think if he just starts the fight with a Cataclysm, or Malphite just starts the fight with an R, I'm not actually sure if that's exactly how these fights want to go. Because a lot of those same tools are going to be the tools that you use to keep the enemy team off Caitlyn, to keep Caitlyn alive so she can be dealing damage. I think they do have the tools if they use it right. Then there's definitely a window. So we'll see if they can make that adaptation here.
Well, it's going to be a very interesting game one. A lot of champs we're starting to get used to seeing here in the PMALCS early on in this season. Yeah, nothing really out of the norm. I would say I don't see Caitlyn a whole lot in general, but again, this is Riffraff's first game, so I'm excited to see what he brings to the table. I haven't played with Riffraff ever. Have you?
I've not. I mean, this is my first season as well, so I'm
That's
learning
right.
about the players. I'm watching, observing when I can. Now, already, it's gonna be worth noting here that Zepho is not actually on the ADC. That's gonna be Riffraff. Zepho is gonna be going
Oh,
support.
I forgot to mention that Zepho is probably going to be playing support. He played support last week.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you like to pause, sir?
We can do at 25. Looks like there's a level 1 here. Let me know when you're there.
Get there. 5. Okay, ready when you are.
3, 2, 1, start. All right.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift, everybody. We got game 1 of LTI Inc. versus BBW.
Looks like already a level 1 play coming out. We've seen a few of these work to varying levels of success.
Yep.
But they're able to grab the ward.
Definitely dependent on the team comp that you set up. Although I will say, I don't think Red Side has the best.
Oh, we're walking into a 5v3 here.
Uh-oh, and they weren't ready for it. Oh, and the rain comes, that's immediately flash out, takes a ton of damage, and they walk away. MCP and A. Oh my gosh, is Rain comes gonna go down here? He does! Oh, that's huge. Tambo trying to do something to save him. Schmack has to flash away. Rain comes passive, making that happen. And gonna go down to the turret here.
Yeah, that's, I mean, ended up good for LTI at the start. The blue side, I think they had the right idea, stacking a bush, stopping the level 1 ward. Unfortunately, they picked the wrong side and they weren't ready to get flanked. Sion in the bush was still able to get 2 with the Q, but just the sheer numbers advantage was enough to push it in LTI's favor.
Did you see he wasn't even charging anything? Like, I mean, it seemed like they had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, they got completely caught off guard here.
All right, so everyone back to the lanes. Business as normal after the level 1 situation. Jimmy Big Balls got pretty used to this matchup. Veteran of the top lane in the PMALCS. Plays against a lot of Sion, a fan favorite. And we got a pause coming in. Oof.
Well, it gives me time to fix the team names here.
And our pause is now not done.
Oh, and then we get the spectate delay real quick.
Spectate bug. Riot, fix your game.
It's a classic at this point. Wouldn't be a nice homebrew stream without a pause and the pause lag. All right.
Thing to note: no pause called out. I'm curious what's going on here.
There's some messages in the chat about it. I think we should be starting up in a second. Yeah, there we go.
So I'm at 212. What do you got yours at here?
215, 16, 17.
Okay, perfect. We're literally couldn't be better synced.
That's good. Yeah, so
it seems. Tell me a little bit about this matchup mid here. This Vigar versus Galio. We all know Galio's the anti-mage, but any tips out there for beating that Galio in the mid lane?
I think if you're Vigar, if he can just avoid taking damage, if he can get farm safely, you should be fine. He started lane at a big disadvantage because he took a bunch of damage from the Scion passive towards the tail end and got his flash burned. But for now, both mid laners are probably just going to be looking to wave clear. If he can, as many spells as he can hit on Galio, the better, because he'll get those phenomenal evil stacks. So we'll see it. We'll see how Schmack does it. Schmack played jungle for them last week, and I wasn't super impressed with his performance, but he was playing against a master tier jungle. Here, he's laning mid lane. Pretty much the entire roster outside of Jimmy Big Balls on a new role in this game. So,
yep.
Zepho back on his comfort zone and support.
He's a mid laner by nature. He likes to jungle a lot, but he got started in the league as a mid laner. It looks like our title is incorrect, but guys, we won't be able to fix that without going off stream,
Wait.
So it's gonna have to be.
Oh yeah. No, I think is this my stream or yours? Nah.
It's yours. Yeah.
I have a OBS setting. I think there's a slash title command. Oh no, I don't have access to that though.
That's right. We can't actually change it. That's right. Oh,
what is
I think
the title?
You can set it from when you start it. Ooh, I actually
say. Yeah, I don't have the permission to do that.
Actually, on mine, yeah, it's not correct. Yeah.
Okay. I think if you're a mod, there might be a command for it, but I don't have the login.
Well, guys, we have. It's going to be LTI Inc. versus Large Testicles Incorporated. What is their actual name?
It's Large Testicles Incorporated versus Bandits of Bulgewater.
There we go.
I believe.
LTI.
Yeah, I don't think I have access to the stream title here, but
yeah, Malcolm might be the guy for us there, but I'm not sure he's around. Okay, so it looks like we got a standard fare down here in the bot lane. Riffraff building up a slight lead, almost well, only about 8 to 10 gold CS lead at the moment, but I mean, got a bit of a lull here. What do you think is on the priority of Papa Bear here for LTI to get something going?
I mean, yeah, I definitely want to try to leverage some of Jarvan's early strength. If I was him, I mean, you're playing against all of these lanes are sort of gankable. You have setup, especially in mid lane, to try and look for something. But I think this late game will revolve largely around Riffraff, so we'll see. We'll probably see him towards the bot side most of the time, protecting his bot lane, making sure they can push, get that advantage, get plates, things like that.
Yep.
In theory, they're not completely unhappy to do nothing in this early game, but when you have a lane like Caitlyn, the goal would be to try and leverage that and get some early dragons, get some early plates, that kind of thing. And he's going to be looking on mid lane here.
Yeah, Papa Bear doing a really good job to disrupt the E out of.
Oh, he still gets hit.
Here, but no. He's just a chunky boy.
A little hard to kill.
Oh, McPina trying to get something on Zepho, but he's just as fast as anybody.
Oh, the engage from Tambo.
Tambo. Oh, and Riffraff going to be able to free fire here. 3 stunned up from the wall from Schmack. And now that's about all of their gas, though, because now Riffraff has to flash barrier away. Oh, here comes Jimmy, but he only gets 1, but Schmack is able to ultimate and Big Pina out of the way, and they just start to walk away. Now Jimmy Big Balls is a big tanky Malphite, but he doesn't have too much tank left, and he's going to have to navigate this pretty carefully, but Schmack able to just do whatever he wants in the backline. Blue and Patty actually going all the way around Blue buff to be able to secure that kill onto Jimmy Big Balls.
Yeah, it's World War III at Dragon at 6 minutes. Both the top laners showing up as well. It ends up being a 2-for-2 for now, but Zepho wants to look for more. Cage does connect, but yeah, now it's going to be LTI refocusing on the Dragon here.
Yep. Well played. Yeah, so LTI kind of coming out a little bit ahead of that, but it was scrappy. Jimmy Big Ball is coming away with 2 kills there. That's going to be pretty big for the top lane matchup. And Schmack getting a kill and an assist on the Vigard.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's not exactly where you want the early kills going, on the Malphite and then on the Scion and the Rel from the other side. So you know, it is what it is. Neither team really has the gold exactly where they want it. I think Schmack got first blood, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
So
he did.
he's just
No,
he's
he had an assist. He was 0-1 in lane for
oh,
all this.
okay. Then I guess it must. Either way,
Must have been the Jimmy.
none of the kills go down to the ADCs, which is normally who you like to see get those early items. As Blue tries to work his way towards the Bloodthirster, and Riffraff's going to be getting Yuntal here. He did get the BF Sword base, and BF Sword versus Vampiric Scepter.
Yeah.
You know, as ADC, you love to be the one with the BF Sword there, so we'll see if Riffraff's able to actually like leverage that into CS late in lane. So far, it looks like Blue's actually gotten the better of the matchup for the most part. See how that continues. Both top laners here just absolutely brawling.
Yeah, they're doing their thing for sure.
Looking on to Blue here, he's a little out of position here with his support at Grubs. Getting frozen off the wave here. So yeah, a lot of, we'll see with the, they changed the Grub timers to be the same as what Rift Herald used to be. So 8 minutes for Grubs to come up. And what that means is you'll see supports recall at around 7 minutes 30, run up to the fight at Grubs, and try to be the impact that their team needs. But with, you know, Janna, you never really want to contest those Grub fights anyway. It's just, you'd rather be bot lane trying to get plates, trying to get an advantage down there. Tambo does run room up, so I think LTI made the right choice there by not going for a contest.
Yeah, and you're not going to win that fight with Tambo's rel. You know, at this point in the game, he just brings a lot more to the party of a team fight than Janna at the moment. So
yeah, and unfortunately for Riffraff, they weren't actually able to really stop Caitlyn. I think they might have zoned her off like a couple minions there, but being 2v1 with the wave like that, you know, it's probably a little sad that you couldn't get a slightly bigger advantage because losing Grubs there, you know, it is unfortunate, especially with like Jarvan being at the point of the game where he probably wants to be fighting.
He does. Right now, it looks like he's looking at top side. Curious to see if they're able to make something happen there. Gets the ult from Rain Comes, goes to Flag and Drag. Jimmy Big Ball's actually ulting kind of at the same time, so kind of eliminating a double knockup potential there, but Rain Comes is going to go ahead and flash out and get away. But, you know, flash down top side.
Was my minimap too big? the frame on the stream is not, it's not lined up there.
The only thing the chat seems to care about, and the only thing they always care about, is the order of the champs that you have them in. So it looks like you might not have them in the right order.
My bad. That should be better.
With that. That's the common complaint. The visual learners are chat. They're a little slow, so.
All right, that should be better.
I don't get to see Zepho on the Janna that often. It's usually banned away from him. Curious to see how he how this plays out with him on one of his best champs. Ooh, headshot. Taking Tambo down to half. Blue, low on mana, but he has the strut and is able to just walk away with his passive.
Bear still wants to look though.
Oh, Fire Drag immediately stuffed by Tambo. And here comes Galio, and nothing doing.
Yeah, I think probably just more of a defensive play there. Zepho is going to be as annoying as possible, but MCPNA, not going to look for anything more. I think that was a really clean Magnet Storm by Tambo. I didn't even know you could do that to pull Jarvan out of the EQ, stop the combo.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. You just stuffed him right in his face.
That being said, I'm not even sure if he wanted that fight with Galio coming down. That would have turned into a 4v1 on his face pretty fast. Ends up being nothing so far. Both teams pretty much completely even with just LTI having the Drake advantage.
Patty being annoying. Yeah, and that's kind of the nature of the way that these teams were drafted. Like, something would have to go drastically wrong for a big play with a bunch of kills to happen this early with these teams.
We'll see who that.
Tambo getting something. Zepho chasing him down. Has the tailwind.
Bear still has the Cataclysm. Doesn't go
Not
for
gonna
anything.
go for it. Tailwind, such a powerful passive ability.
Yeah, I mean this is Zepho back on his comfort zone.
Yep,
here.
Exactly.
The Janna, one of his most played champions. He's able to create a lot of space for.
You just no fear. That's what being on your best champion brings. Like you just your limits 100%.
Oh, the flash in.
Ooh, but a good baby cage is gonna stop Patty from being able to go in.
Not a lot of kills since Dragon. The second one gets stolen away by MCPNA.
Okay, but Cataclysm is going to come in. Oh, flashes out! And the net misses from Riffraff.
Yeah, really nicely done by MCPNA.
Clean.
Directed camera trolling me a little bit there, but yeah, what looked like a free Dragon for LTI. I mean, they had no contest, but MCPNA is able to get in and get out with the flash. That's about as good as you could hope for. And now I want to redirect you to another thing, which is MCPNA is pulling hugely away in as far as the camp lead here. You know, there's not been a lot of action early, not really been a single successful gank this whole game as far as getting a kill.
Right?
And Diana's, enjoyed this because that means she gets to farm. She has the most farm in the game now, right about, and with that, that's a 600 gold lead without her really having to do anything. And that's completely made up for the fact that Bandits of Bulgewater are at a kill deficit. So Diana scaling up. She's going to be strong in this game.
Yep. Yeah, Diana's basically where she wants to be right now. It's perfect for MCPNA. He subbed on my team last week in Maya's stead. Did a great job. Really fun guy to play with, confident, makes good play calls. Any team would be lucky to have him. Papa Bear is going to have to do a lot to keep up with his movements around the map. Speaking of which, going in here
in the
ultimate.
ultimate.
Papa Bear, he ults! Oh, is he going to be able to chase him down? No, not terribly interested. There's a TP coming topside, but now he goes back in. Jimmy Big Balls has to flash away from the Patty ult from Galio, gets the taunt onto Schmack. Schmack taking some damage, but I think he's going to be able to walk away from this. Yep. Oh, flash to flash?
Got a little scared of MCPNA there.
Yeah, I think he was fine there.
A little spooked. I mean, it's so much fighting for not any kills to really end up being the result. I guess that's just what happens when you got these meatballs in the top side with the Scion and the Malphite and the Galio. Vagar doesn't really do too much damage yet, so
Sunfire Rush Jimmy with 2 kills too. I mean, he's just not going to go down.
Yeah, MCPNA just does go flash for flash with Papa Bear. Oh, no, he didn't flash there.
Yeah, he got smack flash.
So he just burned the flash for free. That's good. And with that pressure, he was able to pick up the Rift Herald. Rift Herald, big chunk of XP, nice chunk of gold. If they can convert that into first turret, that's nice. If they can convert it into second tier, obviously even better.
Yep.
He's looking towards the top side, so we'll see if he ends up dropping
they're going
that now.
for a 4-man dive down here in the bot lane. Now, what do you think the success rate of this is going to be?
Pretty good. I mean, Patty 2 doesn't have the ultimate, so there's not going to be anybody here to stop it, but they call it off anyway.
Yeah, they call it off.
I feel like they have to go for a play like this when you got 4 people down here, but I guess Schmack was just worried he didn't want to lose too many minions there, and now with that,
now
Blue Team has the green light to just keep pushing.
Yep. MCPNA just assisting the rain comes down here, up here, and just melting through that top side.
Good trade. Papa Bear, though, he has to make something happen down here, it feels like, because they're about to get this tier 2. Yeah. Not quite able to kill it, but here comes Papa Bear. They burn the flash from his fortune.
Oh,
gets canceled again.
Tambo with the and Zepho has to run away. He has to heal. Oh my goodness, the delay from Tambo to use that ability just to wait for the stuff of Papa Bear's flag and drag. Excellent play.
This is Tambo showing his mastery on the rel. Jarvan's spent so much time trying to make things happen on the bot lane just to be stuffed, but now they're looking onto MCPNA.
Schmack gets a kill there.
That's a heads-up play from the solo laners of LTI, knowing that MCPNA is going to be looking for the invade, and we see Jimmy Big Balls just walk to the other side and be like, all right, walk in, I'll ult him, and then it's a free kill from there, and they're able to pull that off.
Yeah, with the rush, plated steel caps from the Sunfire rush, Schmack's going to be able to do quite a bit of damage to Jimmy still. No MR at all quite yet. I bet you he's, or I'm sorry, not from Jimmy, from the Rain Comes. I had it confused. But even so, with Swifties and Heartsteel, you're not going to survive a Vigar.
Now, what I find interesting is this isn't a normal tank Scion. This is actually Heartsteel. Looks like he's building it to Titanic Hydra next or something along those lines. So the full,
Swifties, you think he wants to just split push, huh?
yeah, split push Scion. Try to be strong in the 1v1. I'm not sure if he'll actually end up having damage even after this to fight the Malphite. So we'll see if that comes into use in team fights. I think this is seems like something we saw in the first week, but I think it was another player with the Titanic Hydra Heartsteel Scion. Now,
Thank you, Hoagie, for making the name change. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Tambo looking in. Papa Bear tries to get onto the dragon, but he's gonna get locked up here by the Galio ult and just
early.
fall.
Now
Tambo finds 3! They kill Riffraff right at the start. Zepho goes down as well.
Going crazy on the back line.
It's a nice 4-man.
Doing everything he can, pick him up.
Nice 4-man Malphite ult on the backside, but his whole team is dead.
Smack having to run away with. Oh, and he has his ult. He saved it just for that moment, and now Patty 2 is going to start running for his life. Schmack coming in.
Patty 2 might be in trouble.
Dragon Pit. Oh, I actually think that he can try something here. Doesn't have his ultimate. Schmack is a little bit low on mana. Yeah, I think he kind of has to give up the ghost here. Yeah, Rain Comes just walking at him.
Might be compromised
might be
here.
dead. Yeah, he's dead.
A little bit of a greedy play.
Oh, but he's walking pretty fast. He's hobbling along. Yeah. Okay, flash, and he's good.
Surprised he was able to survive that. Yeah, it's a little bit greedy trying to do anything there. It's just a little too hard in the 1 versus 3. Getting back the 1 kill already is nice. But yeah, I mean, that fight, Papa Bear just... This is what I was worried about with the Jarvan. When you're playing into that team, we see what happens when he goes for the aggressive Cataclysm. You just get locked up by the Galio, and you know...
He was in the Dragon Pit forever by himself.
Yeah, he doesn't have the same kind of follow-up, and you know, once old Jimmy Big Balls got there and he got the ultimate, you know, Riffraff and Zepho had been caught by Tambo and MCPNA with a beautiful combo on that side, and that's the other thing that you have to be careful of, is because they have a lot of ways to get on top of the Caitlyn. If they can do that, I mean, the fight is won despite what Schmack and what old Jimmy Big Balls might have to say about it.
Yeah, but those kills back for LTI Inc. kind of keep the gold a little bit more even. A lot of gold is on this Vigar. You can't be too upset with your position right now, even if some of these fights haven't gone your way.
Yeah, Schmack with a good chunk on the blue there. He's been stacking up. We gotta check on him right now. He's up to 220 stacks of phenomenal evil. So, and with the Rod of Ages, with the Seraph completed, he's looking really strong in this game.
He's looking pretty huge, yeah. Just chunking blue out.
Yeah, farming a lot of money with those first strike W's.
Emma going for
look here, and Rain comes
on the backside. Schmack is going to beat Send Up, and here comes MCPNA, and they're going to go ahead and give that kill over to blue. That's huge pickup and a shutdown going over to the 80 carry.
Yeah, Schmack no flash from last fight, and the Rain comes with a really good play, roaming down with the priority on the top side, and making the play.
Yeah, that was big. I mean, gold over your 80 carry. He's got the Bloodthirster, so all this poke from Schmack didn't mean all that much. I mean, he came back at him with basically 3/4 health, so... Oh, MCPNA is trying to do Saving Private Ryan over here. Oh,
Zepho.
Actually, it's more like Mission Impossible, because Zepho is going to take half of his damage, but ult's a way to blow him away. Papa Bear interested, though. And a bunch flashes forward into MCPNA. Where are you going? Oh, and he catches back in with Jimmy Big Balls, but guess who's in the backline getting a full channel? It's blue on this MF. And again, it's a lot of damage coming back. And here comes the Galio. Has to flash the Galio taunt. Jimmy Big Balls running away. Flash forward from blue. Gets an auto and a Q, but it's not going to be enough damage. And everyone's running with their tails between their legs. A 1-for-1 after all that.
Yeah, Schmack TPing in. They do burn that, but it will end up being nothing after that play. Malphite is really hard to kill for blue side here, but the downside here is that despite hitting a beautiful ultimate onto 3, the follow-up is just not that good, especially with Veigar's not there. Riffraff was only able to get in a couple auto attacks, and this is another thing about Caitlyn that you always have to be worried about. She's gonna be, she's behind the curve right now. She's starting to fall considerably behind blue, and, still waiting on that Infinity Edge. It's gonna be a while before she's really the carry. that LTI needs as far as damage.
Yeah, 159 CS, 1 and 4. I mean, gosh, you're another few minutes behind an IE.
Yeah.
Well, you got 3
She-
components now, so you only need 525 gold.
Getting there eventually, but like, this isn't the crazy Caitlyn performance where she's up 20 plus CS in lane.
Oh, flash
the
forward,
engage picks up 2.
Today gonna get huge, and now Blue has so much damage, man. He's just chunking them out with those auto attacks.
Yeah, nicely done. I mean, the Janna, no access to the ultimate yet, still on cooldown, and wasn't able to keep Tambo and MCPNA off. And they're leveraging that engage beautifully in this game.
Yeah, Blue's those kills have been huge. He has the Essence Reaver and the BT. He's just like chunking people now.
Still 300 gold short of Infinity Edge, so the Caitlyn. So yeah, I mean, this is going to be a pretty easy start for BBW onto the Otacon.
Free Otacon take here, 4,000 gold lead over to the
Papa
side
Bear.
of BBW.
He's in the area. Can you look?
He
Lands
has
the flag.
He has the
Lands the drag, and he gets it!
Goes down for his troubles, but a perfect smite. MCPNA caught with his pants down a little bit there.
Absolutely. The Miracle Steal Papa Bear, able to keep his team in the game for longer. That's a really nice thing to have. They're looking onto old Jimmy Big Balls here. They might be in trouble. They engage. Schmack has to flash.
Transition over to Schmack. Jimmy Big Ball's just going to the other side, coast to coast. And Riffraff's getting a little bit of free shots here, but yeah, they're not going to be able to do
still a 5v4.
Oh no!
Zepho's caught out. Zepho is down.
Zepho's going to go down here.
Yeah, I mean, Papa Bear sacrificing his life to heroically get the steal on the Otacon, but if you're LTI at this point, it's
you just give the drag, right? Like, why are you there?
You're 4v5, your carries are down gold for the most part. Your Caitlyn still hasn't finished her Infinity Edge. I'm not sure what they were expecting the fight to look like there. And Zepho just walking up a little bit too far, gets picked up by MCPNA. And, despite the Atacon steal, it still looks like BBW in a commanding position in this game.
Yeah, I just feel like you just leave the dragon there, man. It's not the dragon soul. You can give it, lick your wounds, take your Otacon steal, go back, spend your gold.
Yeah. MCPNA now 2,500 gold up over Papa Bear. Papa Bear opting for a more damage-heavy Jarvan build, but
yeah, Eclipse is not the move here anymore, right?
This is
going second item.
This is exactly what I was worried about for him, and maybe he's getting something like the Black Cleaver or something like that.
Yeah, it looks like Cleaver.
If he just runs in and he's been looking for these ultimates, but we've seen him fight after fight. It's just he's never gonna have the damage alone to kill anybody on the side of BBW. And if he jumps in too fast, his team just doesn't really have the follow up. I want to see him play a little more conservatively in these next couple fights. It's all about creating space for your carries here. If you give BBW the engage, they're going to take it and they're going to win.
Yeah, gold lead starting to build. Still only 3K though here at 26 minutes. There's definitely an avenue for LTI to come back in. If they're... oh, Schmack, hold on. Okay. He's walking away.
It's a little frisky.
Yeah, it's a little spicy. But I was going to ask you, Glacial, what's the avenue for LTI to come back into this one?
Well, I mean, I've watched enough games even so far this season where it's like, one team's up 8,000 gold.
Hey.
Listen, I cast another game this Friday. You're not the only team to throw an 8,000 plus gold lead anymore after just 1.5 weeks of play. So, anything's possible in these games.
PMALCS, brother.
Just try not to give them a fight that's too good, and you have wave clear, and you really are just trying to get to 3-4 items on Schmack, on Riffraff, and at that point, you might actually see the damage from BBW start to fall off a little bit. Malphite's still going to be really hard to kill at all points in the game. So if, the carries are able to do enough damage and not get caught in these fights, then they actually have a perfectly reasonable time in these fights. And Papa Bear is just going to have to make sure he doesn't kind of sell his team out with the engage, because
he's going a little bit too far deep into them. I'm almost wondering if just disengaging for Schmack and Riffraff is a better use of his time.
Yeah, it might just be. This Galio's always been looking to get the
Schmack.
defensive ult now, and Schmack's completely caught here.
He is caught. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. He's gonna go down here. Yep. Gave it over to Blue.
BBW might just look at Baron here with Schmack the most. I mean, that's like all of LTI's damage at this point in the game, and they're going to start it up.
For the most part. Yep. IE is completed on Rift Raft, so he is going to start doing some damage, but at this point, he needs Armor Pen to actually do anything with his 2 items, so...
it's not the fastest Baron of all time, so they have some time, but Papa Bear's going to get caught.
Blue's not going to... Jimmy Bugball's not going to be able to save the jungler there. He just took too much damage. He got too close to the Baron pit too early.
It's a 3v5, and they don't have the unstoppable force anymore. This contest seems more and more difficult.
Like you just need to leave. Kind of seems like what's the story here. Jimmy Big Balls used his ult there, no?
Yeah, that was. I mean, he tried to peel for Papa Bear, who he tried to go for the heroic moment again, but this time they're a little quicker to catch an app. Max TPing in, but
what is the
I don't
goal
know what they're
here?
gonna find.
Okay.
MCPNA flashes out. He plays it safe. I think that's the right thing to do there. And yeah, I mean, I hate to see so many times this game where LTI just doesn't have a hope or a dream of contesting or fighting over some of these objectives. And there's jungle camps up on the map, there's minion waves to clear. You just have to get your carries some gold. We can't be wasting too much time over there. I don't know. I don't think there's any miracles that they can expect to happen once Papa Bear falls there.
Down there, other than maybe Papa Bear steal, you kind of have to wash your hands of it at that point in that scenario, and just like you say, get some gold on your carries. They spent what 2-3 minutes dancing the Baron pit there.
Yeah, I mean, not the best cross mapping between the Baron, but I'm sure the pressure. And now Zepho is gonna get caught out. Gonna have to flash.
Zepho. Oh my goodness, the damage from Blue is humongous.
Yeah,
Almost
Blue is
takes him down there.
Up a full item on Caitlyn, and those are some strong items for Misfortune. We see how much damage he deals. That's just the auto Q is almost Zepho's whole health bar. LTI still gonna try and contest this. We'll see if they can get something done.
Oh, MCPNA just immediately going in and ulting it. Again, Papa Bear way too deep. He's not going to be able to assist his team from there. And here comes the Galio ult just to knock up. Oh, it gets 2 people. Oh, and a Rel in the backline just causing just mayhem. And that's going to be a 4 for 1 going over to the side of BBW.
Yeah, it looked honestly way too easy for BBW there, where it's just the DPS is just so lacking from LTI, and even towards the end of that fight, we saw Riffraff get a little bit antsy. Feels like he has to hit the carries, and he just walks in and kills himself with both of his summoners still available. And that's more time off the map, more time he can't be farming. He's trying to work his way towards either a Lord Dominic's or a Mortal Reminder here, but just so far behind at this point.
Papa Bear again, it's like he flag and dragged across the team and Cataclysm in the backline while his whole team was dying.
I mean, honestly, I respect the attempt, but it's just you can never expect the follow-up to be there at this point in the game. You just have to play it slow. You have to play a front to back. Your game revolves around your carries. It revolves around the DPS that they can deal.
Right? Like, I mean, he needs to be tanky.
You just need to try to slow down the game. But now the Mountain Soul. Yeah, the Mountain Soul picked up here is going to make it even harder for these carries to deal the damage that they need to break through the meatball comp on BBW.
I was going to say, kind of the perfect soul for them, really.
And, I mean, Blue might very well be finishing his Infinity Edge before Riffraff can even get close to his third item.
Yep.
I mean, that's at the point. Misfortune's damage becomes absolutely obscene. I mean, we saw a glimpse of it before, but these carries, they're going to have trouble staying alive. I feel like for a lot of this game, it's really worth shouting out what an incredible game Tambo's had so far. Stuffing a lot of the early fights from Papa Bear, and we see time after time in these fights, the Magnet Storm, the Crash Down, he's able to get on top of the carries, and now Papa Bear is going to have to burn the Flash. Can't even walk into their own jungle anymore. As BBW walk in, they take control.
Yeah, it's all basically coming down to how is BBW going to close this one out, because it's about a 10k gold lead, well, 8,000 gold lead here. Again, not insurmountable if we've seen, but I haven't seen an 8k gold lead thrown at this late in the game. So we'll see what they can do here. They got Mountain Soul.
Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed with. I mean, BBW so far. They've made the right plays. They've picked the right fights. I'd be very surprised to see them throw the game from this position. It looks like the coordination, the shot calling has been there for this team, and they've been able to leverage that all the way here. LTI need nothing short of a miracle.
Yeah, Miracle, a big pick, but even a pick isn't really a pick given what the itemization of BBW. Blue with the big shield from the Bloodthirster. MCPNA, I mean, about as tanky as you can get as a Diana.
Yeah, I mean, MCPNA's been doing the dirty work this game with a lot of good Diana ultimates to start the fights off, to get on top of the carries. Gonna be basically the only one they can ever kill in these fights. They've knocked her down 4 times so far, but yeah, so far, I mean, just leveraging some push, getting control on the map. Kind of a waiting game, but now they're looking on a blue.
On blue, though, actually.
This is what they needed.
For. Oh, and Riffraff's now free firing on the backline, but Papa Bear again, just a little.
But look at the Scion!
Scion is here, baby. That's a huge knock. That's going to be everybody going down. Tampo just running riot, and so is Patty. Schmack going to go down with the ignite damage. Old Jimmy Big Ball is still alive. Riffraff still kind of cooking, though. He was able to knock away the Scion, but those are 2 big tanky boys. What's an 80 carry to do? He's going to take a ton of damage. Patty going to be able to clean this up. Jimmy Big Ball is not going to be able to do anything else. But hey, it's 3 for 4 so far. You take that as LTI Inc. if he can get out of here, but it doesn't look like he's going to. And an ace going over to BBW.
Yeah, I mean, that fight started about as well as you could possibly hope. Jimmy Big Balls, the captain, the stalwart leader of this team, playing so well in the Malphite, finding the pick onto blue. But after blue falls in the 4v5, the rain comes with the huge Scion ult on the flank.
Huge flank. With
the Scion Q, with the Dyna ultimate, cleans up the fight, and, you know, they're able to turn the 4v5 around without their huge source of damage. So it kind of feels like if you can't come away with a win in that fight, what does it need to look like? What needs to be different?
Yeah, I mean, like you say, it couldn't have gotten better than that. I mean, that was as good of a look as you were going to get. The only difference would be if you can keep inking out these fights, even if you get aced and it doesn't lead to a big objective take. You know, that gives your carries a little bit of gold that makes the next fight even better, and the next fight. But it's going to be a long road for LTI. Starting with hopefully not Zepho dying here.
Been having a rough game so far.
Yeah.
So much engage onto him. It's really hard to keep them all off. And now it's Papa Bear trying to make the steal again. Not gonna find it this time. And BBW picks up a Baron that they're gonna try to close the game out with.
Doing a lot of damage though. I mean, he got a couple of those meteors, and it chunked them pretty good.
I mean, the longer this game goes on, the more chances BBW is giving to LTI is the Elder Dragon spawning in 5 seconds. They're gonna take the opportunity. LTI in control of the pit for now.
Yeah, Tambo just playing so well on this relic. Just have to think that the big engage is coming here. All right, you take it away on this one, Glacial.
Okay, the engage. Tambo finds Zepho at the beginning, but Riffraff's gonna be hitting away. He's gonna be surviving. The bullet time's gonna find 3, and the rain comes on the backside. Is gonna be able to find Schmack. Schmack falls, and now Blue flashes forward, gets the one shot onto Zepho. He's gonna keep chasing, and with 2 autos is gonna take down Riffraff. They're gonna get the Elder, and they're going to get the game.
A bit of a wallet slap on that one, I'd say, Glacial.
Yeah, I mean, Tambo didn't find them all on the engage, but at that point it didn't matter. As long as Blue is able to do obscene amounts of damage, he's basically free hitting the whole fight, and he finds his moment with a beautiful bullet time. Not only getting those 3, but also on the backside, flashing onto Zepho, flashing onto Riffraff, who just got absolutely obliterated. Yeah, in 38 minutes, we're able to close the game.
You know what? There was going to be a moment where it came where the wallet and the positioning came into play here. When I handed over the reins to your playcasting there, I could already see Tambo licking his lips into that engage, and they pulled it off perfectly there.
Absolutely. We see at the end game, Blue leading the damage charts for his team, finishing about over 5,000 gold ahead of Riffraff on the other side on the Caitlyn. They weren't quite able to make the Caitlyn pick work out. Was never really able to have a fight where she could deal, so much damage. She's able to kill Tambo there right at the end, but that was about it before Blue finished the job.
Yeah, I wasn't ever sold on that Caitlyn first pick. That's kind of why I was asking you about it when we were discussing pick ban. But you know, it's just hard to if you're like you kind of in the PMALCS you kind of have to go stomp early game or stomp late game. There's like the Caitlyn in this weird intermittent period where people in the PMALCS like to throw so much. It's doesn't seem as relevant really. You see the similar problem with like Ezreal picks and things like that. So it's
Yeah.
kind of a
My opinion
weird.
on Caitlyn, we've seen good Caitlyn games. Like Kaligi Juicebox broke out the Caitlyn Lux and turned a really dominant laning phase into a game that they were able to close out pretty quickly. In a game like this, where you're kind of just playing the Caitlyn to scale, they didn't really get any tangible advantage in the bot lane. And once they got to fights, Miss Fortune's impact was just so much greater. She's able to stay so much farther ahead of the curve. And I feel like, I mean, Caitlyn's going to be the safe pick for a lot of ADCs in this league. It's a very cherished champion, but it's just tough when you can't, come
Yeah,
come out with a good early game.
yeah, definitely. All right, guys. Well, with that, BBW is taking game one against LTI. We're going to take a little bit of a break here as everything gets sets up for game two. Glacial, I'm going to step away for a quick second and go grab a beverage, and I'll see you in a bit.
Absolutely.
All right, hello everyone. Welcome to Game 2 draft of BBW versus Large Testicles Incorporated. We got the draft underway here. I got Glacial joining me with the cast, actually running the stream today. And kicking it off, we already have Leona, Jinx, and Braum banned on the side of Large Testicles, followed up by a Zyra, a Mel, and a Mordekaiser ban from BBW. All right,
Yeah.
Glacial, take it away. What do you think? What do you see? What do you know?
Yeah, I mean the Mel Zyra bands targeted towards those higher agency champions that Zepho can play. In LLC going for an early Tristana, that is a flex. I'm interested to see if they actually put that in the bot lane. And see if they go with Tambo on engage again, kind of go for the kill lane. BBW on the other side taking the Varus, which is pretty standard ADC, one of the strongest blind ADCs right now, just because you have the ability. You're so versatile. You have
Yeah,
you can have a strong
you
lane.
say
You
it.
scale well later into the game, um, and you have both options for builds. If they build something that's too tanky for the poke to matter, then you have that avenue as well, which is very strong too. Into the Tristana, it's not the biggest counter in the world, but if the lethality Varus ends up working out, then Trist might not get a chance to go for the engage, and that might be what they're hoping for.
Yeah,
And the
definitely.
Nocturne as well picked up really
Yeah,
strong.
Nocturne, another PMALCS special, man. It's a strong early game. Can 1v1 pretty successfully. You have to wonder if MCPNA kind of got the feel that he can kind of bully Papa Bear out of the jungle, and that's the Nocturne pickup there.
Absolutely, Warwick being the lock in here for whoever ends up playing jungle on Large Testicles Incorporated. Um, Not sure if it'll end up being Schmack. Schmack did have a good performance for the most part on the Vagar. Um, so we'll see if he goes back mid, and the Nautilus picked up there for Zepho. The Bard pickup would be interesting. That's a very high agency champion.
Yeah, it is.
We'll see if Tambo can make the impact on it. Doesn't actually go for it. Tarek. That's not a champion we see too much anymore.
No, and you don't see it with Varus that often either, to be completely honest with you.
I actually
Um,
heard someone the other day talking, and they're basically like, Tarek's got to be one of the worst champions in the game right now because you just pick him and you can't really, you have to flash to engage, and it's kind of like telegraphed what you're going to be doing. But where he's going to be really good is if it's telegraphed what the opponents are going to be doing, and you get a really strong counter engage off. If Tarek can get in the mix and he can get a good ultimate off, I mean, he can be really, really powerful in those situations. And here, it's for the counter engage for the Triss Nautilus. If Triss jumps in, you're going to get a Tarek stun to the face, and you're going to be losing the fight.
that's true. And if Warwick too. I mean, shoot, all of them really want to jump in. You're right. I think Turk could be something good here. I think that's a good
Mm-hmm.
pickup.
It's very similar second round bans to last game, banning away the Ornn and the Set from Jimmy Big Balls. This is Fearless, so the Malphite won't be coming down again.
Curious how they adjust to what they want Jimmy up there. I can't help but feel. I know Jimmy plays a lot of tanks, but I really want him to take a game by the bull by the horns here and play something maybe a little more carry. I'd like to see. Um, but I'm interested to see what he goes for
I
here.
mean, yeah, Jimmy, his team right now is currently 0-3. They're still looking for their first win here.
When, yep,
And he's been, pretty stellar even in their losses. Playing
yes, agreed.
against MNM in the first week, he had a stellar game on Mordekaiser where,
He did.
his team
He was a great
actually he
boss.
brought them to a 5,000 gold advantage, and they weren't able to close that out. But he was kind of the shining light for his team there. And last game on the Malphite, I mean, he was really strong, but at the end of the day, you're just a Malphite. And now with counter
Yeah,
pick into the Dr. Mundo, we'll see what he breaks at.
yeah, gonna be interesting to see how they can pull out another win. I think that the tools are there. They're just still trying to figure out, who's the shot caller maybe, or where the carry is coming from. I do think that they suffer a little bit in the pick ban phase. Um, to me, they seem to get outpicked quite regularly, and I'm interested to see how they adjust to this. And they starting to with the brand. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. What do you think?
I have No idea, because I'm assuming that might be Brand mid lane as a
You know what it
blind
is?
pick.
You know what it is? Jimmy top Nautilus brand on Zepho.
That would be wild, actually. I'd be.
Jimmy is known to play Nautilus top. I think that's what it is.
That would be crazy, but that'd be a really smart adaptation as well, because Nautilus doesn't really want to lane into the Taric, and Taric into Brand sounds abysmal.
Yep.
And
I
that's a
think they got him with the
Cassiopeia.
old. Yeah, I think that's top knot and bottom lane brand Tristana. That could be something here. Speaking of draft diffs, I think I got played a little bit here by LLC. I'm curious to see. I bet you that's what it is. I bet that's Jimmy on Nautilus.
I think Cassio does actually fare pretty well against Mundo as well if they end up
Kind
doing
of
like a
love the
lane
cast pick.
swap.
Yep. Hmm.
So, they could end up sending Nautilus mid and then have Schmack top lane playing Cass against Mundo. I'm interested to see what they do. It looks like Ari's going to be the final pickup here. Just some extra utility and pick potential there with the Nocturne trying to make plays on the side lane. Um,
Yeah.
but we'll see how it turns out. I think LTI, they have a comp that's a little more conducive to the team fight this time, a little more cohesive in that regard. So we'll see if they're able to leverage that. Whereas the Bandits of Bulgewater have the tools to make those semi-global plays. But once they get to the 5v5, I mean, they're not the strongest champions for that. So we'll see how this draft goes. With the team fights not necessarily hard favoring the Bandits of Bulgewater this time, I'll be interested to see if that affects the result at all.
Yeah,
So,
and it's funny because I was just talking about how I felt like draft was the weakest part of Large Testicles game, and I actually think that their team looks a little bit better here. Um, I don't know, it seems a little more holistic in their
yeah.
approach.
I mean, now the Tarek feels a little out of place into Brand Cassia, where they
Yeah,
have the option
totally.
to peel back and kind of play the range fight. Um,
Yep.
Now that is helped a little bit by Nocturne just being able to press R and go in when he wants. And Tarek can throw the stun on him and try to do something there, but not necessarily the easiest to execute team fight. I'd actually argue that Bandits of Bulgewater, at least macro wise, are going to have their work cut out for them. That's higher execution comp. They're going to have to play the side lanes well, utilize the
Yeah,
Mundo
agreed.
split push, utilize the Ari split push, and the Nocturne pressure to try and build advantages outside the team fight. But of course, there's going to have to be team fights at some point in the game.
That is how you win one. So interesting to see. Very. I really want to see. We don't pick favorites here, but I do want to see Jimmy and his team take a win here and get their first win on the season. That would be really nice.
Yeah, they're
We
the
love to see
only.
parity in this league, and the more even matchups, the better.
Yeah, and this is the first game we saw from BBW, and
Oh, the
they look
first, yeah, the
strong.
whole squad. Yeah,
They
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 did.
they had the bye last week, so or no, yes, I think they had the bye. I might be wrong. I'm not
Yes,
sure.
I think they did have the bye.
Okay, maybe I just played against them and that threw me off at some point. But yeah, I think with that win, LTI is the only winless team left, and I think their team on paper, you know, I don't think people would argue that they're the worst team in the league or maybe even
Yeah,
that close. They definitely have the potential to win. They have the star power. I think with the way Jimmy Big Balls has been playing, they have Zepho obviously, who's yet to really put on a fantastic game here, and it looks like that will be the Casio mid lane and the brand Tristana.
yeah, he's finally getting in a position to carry a game.
Mhm.
Excited to see what he does here.
Yeah. Yeah, still waiting for his breakout game. Papa Bear on jungle again. Really just needs to play to not try to fall super far behind. I think on the Warwick, just remembering to farm is going to be one thing. If it ends up in a kind of full clear fest, we've seen MCPNA happily take that advantage, and on the Nocturne, it's going to be the same thing where he's happily going to be farming until he hits his level 6, playing on his timers. So I want to see Papa Bear pick his fights well, leverage the early game power of his champion, and try not to fall too far behind in the jungle.
All right, so we got game two action between Large Testicles Incorporated and BBW. Bold, what is it? Bilge What's their
Bandits
name?
of Bulgewater.
Bandits of Bulgewater. Jesus Christ. I have to say, of all the years we've done this, this year has been people had made the hardest teams to freaking cast for of all the
Absolutely.
years. This is horrible.
Uh, but we'll be back in a couple minutes as we wait for the spectate delay, but don't go anywhere. You won't want to miss the action.
Yes, sir. See you guys in a bit.
I'm not about to give up, no. I might bend, but I'm not gonna break no more. No sticks and no stones. Prove it to you, prove it to you, prove it to you. Prove it to you, prove it to you, prove without a doubt. Give me the one chance, so I can prove to you. So I can prove to you. No matter how long it takes, one step at a time, I will make the climb, learn from the mistakes I made. And I'll prove it to you, prove it to you, prove it to you. Prove it to you, prove it to you, prove without a doubt. Give me one chance, so I can prove to you. So I can prove to you. So I can prove to you. I have to go on. Reason. 어린아이 같았던 나는 이제 없지만 같은 자리에서 넌 힘이 되어줬구나. 재빠르게 지나온 나이들은 모든 게 참 오래도록 꿈꿨던 모습으로 너와 다른데 보이긴 하지만 별반 다르지 않아. 지고 치면서 잘하지 들렸단 말이 많아. 자신만큼을 알갈 땐꼭 책임감이 따라 매 순간 다 새기며 부어. 이 내 빛을 가린 구름이 앞을 가려도 Far away, 멀리 far away. 보란 듯이 날아갈 날개를 펼쳐 Cause you are the reason. 흘러가는 시간 좀처럼 잡을 수 없더라고. 그래도 믿어 우린 언제나 나가니까. Air one minute like a air make hundred million. 내가 쉰 높은 곳에 질주를 위한 key. We don't fight. 보여 우리만의 길 위에 light. That is love or free. 이 내 빛을 가린 구름이 앞을 가려도 Far away, 멀리 far away. 보란 듯이 날아갈 날개를 펼쳐 Cause you are the reason.
All right, we're in.
All right, everyone, welcome to Game 2 of PMALCS Week 2 action here on this Sunday night. We have BBW going off fast with a hook onto Patty already. Jimmy Big Balls can't even announce the start of the game. Anyway, it's BBW versus Large Testicles Incorporated. Glacial, you want to go ahead and take it away with a little bit of intro of the teams, the comps, everything you think so far, what you've seen?
Yeah,
Take it away.
I love to see the solo queue Nautilus technology, or not solo queue. This is a competitive thing. The amount of Nautilus plays that I've seen, like level 1, they're just like, let's run down mid and hook the enemy mid laner, and it like for some reason it just works like 60% of the time. So for absolutely no investment, they're able to kind of go in and look there. It doesn't really amount into anything tangible since Patty was able to to get out recall without having to burn the flash. But yeah, we had a little bit of a delay there as apparently Zepho had to change his bucket. Is what the word is. So
Okay, a little PSA for the people watching. If you could please at least wait maybe 10 seconds for your first pause and announce it. It doesn't just help your brothers out on the Rift, it helps the stream not get really royally messed up at the beginning. So just keep that in mind when you're quick to rip those pauses. Anyway, what are you expecting to see here from the early game, Glacial, for game 2 here?
yeah. So top lane, Mundo's not really the kind of champion that you want to give a free lane. But you know, for the flexibility to be able to have a support matchup as good as Brandon to Tarek, as we see here, he's already poking out, kind of making his presence felt. You have to give up somewhere in draft, and of course the concession is that Nautilus is laning into the Mundo. Mundo's a champion where after he gets like, you know, 1 or 2 items, he starts to get really strong. He's the most abusable early in this lane, and I doubt that Jimmy Big Balls is going to be able to do too much. He's trained a little bit, but it's not really a champion with loads of kill threat, especially against, you know, Mundo, who's going to have the shield to block some of the CC, block some of the damage, get some healing, that kind of thing. So we'll see how that ends up turning out.
I'm going to have to give you the solo ropes for a quick second. Apparently there's a dead bird in my kitchen.
Oh no.
So I will be right back.
Best of luck cleaning up the dead bird. No Anivia in this game, but his kitchen, maybe there might be. Yeah, Korn mentioning that if he was Varus in this game, he'd kill himself. You know, it's not the easiest, but I think with the poke build, it gets a little easier. You know, once you get a few items, just having the wave clear and trying to be able to like ignore as much of this brand poke as possible. Once you get to the team fights, I don't think it's that bad as long as you don't have to walk in range of Trist and Cassio. Like if you're able to just like throw in Qs and E's, chunk the back line, auto attack the front line, it's not so bad. That's part of the reason why, you know, Varus is as strong as he is you just have the ability to play that way. But here early on in the lane, Zepho getting a small advantage. Tembo trying to heal up as much as he can. We see already MCPNA actually looking to punish this. Zepho's out of mana. He's going to get flashed on. He's going to predict the flash from Tambo. He's going to be able to get out. That is one thing that is interesting about the Tarek flash that both top laners getting. Zepho doesn't have flash. Wait, he's still here and he's going to get feared up by MCPNA. And he's going to be first blooded here off the bat. Walking up way too far without the flash. That's the punish. Brand. I mean, that's the downside of when you pick Brand. You don't have the mobility. It's all damage. And, you know, they're able to collapse on that. MCPNA sees him walk back in. Papa Bear trying to trade up on the top side. It's going to burn the ghost. But the rain comes. It's going to be able to walk out on the slimmest margins there. But yeah, I mean, any kind of early lead that Zepho might have gotten there just completely blown as MCPNA. Just reganks the lane. Easily picks up first blood there. Tier picked up for both the bot laners. BBW. This lane's going to get a lot easier for them. With the tier, of course, if Tarek can keep hitting the wave and keep throwing those Qs down, won't run out of mana so fast. And we'll be able to heal off more of the poke damage coming out of Zepho.
Yeah, I am back. That was an interesting thing that I had to deal with, but alright. My dog found a bird somewhere.
Ah. So it's not like the bird flew into your kitchen and died. It's the bird had already died and the dog found it, or the dog just...
Yeah, we had baby
1v1.
birds in our chimney for a while. And so we were like hoping that they would just like grow up and fly away. We can get rid of the nest in the chimney. I'm wondering if one got caught somewhere and died inside the chimney and then fell.
A little Warwick on Anivia action there in the house of Buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Already
but we're all good now.
Yeah. Riffraff's still able to pick up the BF sword. It's going to be a strong power spike for him. If they're able to look for fights in the 2v2 bot lane, it might not be so bad. Especially with
Zepho just holding it down on his own out there.
He's trying to. He's doing what he can. Yeah.
Was there
one
a
thing
fight
that is
bot lane that happened?
Zepho fell. He got ganked, had the flash, and then he walked back in, and then got ganked again and died. Now MCPNA eyeing the bot lane again. Of course, Zepho still without the flash it's an easy target, but the big downside of the Taric is, you know, the one thing that he can do to engage is E-flash. So Zepho sees the E-flash there, he's able to flash out, and now the Taric doesn't have that chance to go in anymore, and even, you know, when he does, when you see a Taric just launch an E into outer space, but he's a flash away from you, you can guarantee he's going to be flashing on you about 99% of the time if he has it up. So...
Okay, so all that pressure is leading to what, a pretty easy drag take. First drag take here.
Yeah, I mean, and we're seeing again the efficiency of MCPNA's jungle. Not only able to spend time bot lane, relieve some pressure, get his bot lane a kill, he's also able to get Dragon and still be up 3 camps on Papa Bear.
You know what, the one thing that this Jimmy taking this Nautilus and like kind of switcherooing the pick bands around in didn't account for is how shit that matchup is against Mundo. That
Yeah,
sucks.
I mean... Oh, and MCPNA with level 6 fast.
MCPNA, and he is going to be able to get the fear and take out Schmack.
That is why you full clear on the Nocturne. The efficient clearing has landed him level 6. And, you know, with that advantage, he burned Schmack's flash and still got the kill. So that's absolutely massive for him. And that's just one more a mobile target where Nocturne is going to be looking to feast. And yeah, in the top lane, I mean, as I was saying before, Mundo is a champion that gets really strong later into the game. But the early laning is where he's going to be the most abusable. And, you know, Nautilus is up a little bit, but it's Nautilus. You're not going to be able to kill him. You're not really going to be able to put him too far behind. For the most part, it's been a handshake up there outside of Rin Comes having to burn his ghost off a gank, but you know, they weren't able to convert that. And you know, as he gets closer and closer to, I'm assuming he's building a Warmogs, it's just going to be hard for Jimmy Big Balls to ever force him out of the lane.
Agreed.
Zepho now out of mana, so...
Rain Comes briefcases are just going to hurt more and more and more. I mean, I hate this matchup, actually, for Nautilus, the more I think about it.
Now, MCPNA wants to contest these, but it's going to be a 2v3. It might be a little bit out of position here.
Yeah, actually, a really good look here. Oh, my goodness. The ult coming out from MCPNA, it goes down, actually, from the Warwick ult. Sorry about that. I was a little bit confused about what was going on. Jimmy Big Balls actually...
bug was that?
Yeah, what the heck. Papa Bear still chasing this down. Patty's going to go down here, but gets the return kill from the Q. And 2 for 1. Actually going over to BBW there.
Now, this is the thing we were actually criticizing LTI for earlier, is kind of the greedy contest there. Without Patty coming up sooner, I mean, MCPNA goes in way too early in the flash from Tambo.
Oh, no, Tambo.
He's trying to get the solo kill.
Should be able to walk away from this, actually, and might get a return kill. Forces the ult out from Tambo.
I like the attempt from Tambo, but that is... I mean, he burned Flash, he burned Ignite, and he burned his ultimate, got nothing. And his bot lane's going to lose 2 plates. Versus probably going to miss some CS here, and he's going to get chunked, and he's going to probably have to recall in a moment here. So.
MCPNA is still forcing a play on this top side.
Yeah, they really want to go for these, but his mid laner's not quite there yet.
Kind of
he's
alone.
Gonna
That's
flash,
a flash.
But it's a 3v2.
Oh, that's a lot
LTI
of
is the one
damage.
that's cut out.
Briefcase going to slow Jimmy Big Balls down. MCPNA is probably going to try to pick up this kill here, get it for himself. Yep, takes a double kill, gets a ton of gold onto this Nocturne. And, man, this Nocturne is going to be spooky going forward.
It was funny. I was actually telling my own team, you know, earlier in the week, we were starting every game down like 3,000 gold because we would just contest the Void Grubs, and then they'd all die. And I'd just be sitting in the bot lane just chilling, and actually Schmack is just going to get a solo kill here in mid.
Is the poison going to get him?
Patty barely survives. But, I mean, we see there both teams really trying to duke it out for the Void Grubs, and we see initially what I was, you know, saying was a big problem for LTI last game is actually BBW engaged with the Nocturnal.
Oh, gets the staring gaze, but not going to be enough. MCPNA, jeez, just too strong.
You guys really don't want me to monologue. Tambo.
Oh, fast.
Not quite here in
flash
time.
barrier.
Oh, Zepho dies.
Taken down.
What?
Gets a return kill. That's both. That's both bot laners down for that play.
I don't even know what happened that fight. Zepho just got absolutely blown up by the Varus combo. trying to find the
Yeah.
2v1 kill onto Blue, and even though Blue ends up falling, Riffraff jumps in as well and just gets absolutely deleted by the turret and Tambo there, so they pick up a 2-for-1. You know, Bear still loses some of the CS, but that still feels pretty good. A lot of fighting on every corner of the map right now, but yeah, I mean, right at the start of that entire sequence, MCPNA trying to contest the Void Grubs 2v3 before his mid laner's there, and a really good Nautilus ultimate into Warwick ultimate's able to kill him right at the start. And Patty 2's
Yeah, but then he just walks right back there.
Yeah, Patty 2 tries to resolve this situation, try to get something back, but he's still in the 2v3. He also ends up falling. But then on the other side, MCPNA goes straight back to the Void Grubs, and then LTI doesn't want to give it up, so now LTI throws the game right back to them, walking into the 2v4 in the top side. And if they hadn't done that, then, you know, bot lane would continue to be suffering as Tambo's not there, but Tambo makes his way back down just in time to stop the play. So overall, it ends up obviously being pretty good for UBW despite the bad start to the sequence. Now LTI is trying to get some back. They're going to be able to pick up the dragon here, get their first one of the game.
Yep, totally. And kind of what I was when I was casting that grub situation that we keep coming back to. The reason why my wires were so crossed is because a play was happening that looked like something that LTI was going to do, but it was actually BWW that was making that play that I would expect the other team to make. So I had the names all crossed.
Zepho gets a big stun on bot lane. Varus doesn't go down before the ultimate from
the
Tarek.
ult from Tarek, dude.
Now MCPNA's
This
here
is
in time as
horrible.
well.
Oh, he's gonna get stunned from Tambo. He's gonna go down here.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to fight on this bot side to leverage the 2v2 advantage, but
Not working.
with the Tarek ultimate, they're keeping Blue
MCPNA
alive,
is
and MCPNA with the
everywhere,
ultimate.
dude. Everywhere.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, you think you're gonna make a play? Nocturne's there.
besides that one play up at Void Grubs, I mean, he's having a stellar game. He's where he needs to be. He's able to clean up a kill on mid lane, able to be at bot lane in time. Just looking for these plays with the ultimate off cooldown. Everything just seems to be working out.
Oh, Flash!
Patty flashes into the ultimate, but dodges
gonna
out
get
of
damage.
the Cassio stun and survives.
Really well
nice
played by
dodge from
Patty to look
Patty.
away from the cast stun.
And now Schmack's going to be in trouble here. MCPNA. Well, MCPNA doesn't actually end up looking.
You just
for
have
it.
to think in the back of your mind, like the Nocturne ult's coming, man. I gotta
It's
watch
coming.
out.
Yeah, I mean, remember we were 5-1-2. Now he's just losing his whole jungle.
He's just taking his jungle in front of his face. That's what he's gonna do.
It's not one thing that Papa Bear can do about it at this point.
Nope.
Zepho, Riffraff still trying to get some kind of lead in the bot lane. I mean, they were able to pick up, was that about 4 plates? So it's not, you know, it's not the worst situation ever for them, but it feels so bad when you put so many of your draft resources into trying to get this Tarek into Brand counter matchup. And he gets the stun on the Brand. Brand's gonna get
Oh,
locked
that
up by the
huge
root.
ult coming out from Blue. He's gonna take Zepho out here. Bonk. And one more. Yep.
Oh, the ADC's trade.
Chris jumps in and gets one. And now Riffraff's trying to. Oh, but he, you know, you gotta have your E on top of him if you want that to execute.
Yeah, I think Riffraff just didn't want to end up dying there and just kind of take
yeah,
the win on the
good point.
fight.
Yep.
I mean, we applauded this kind of draft outplay with the Brandon to Tarek, but I mean this 2v2 just they've looked like they've almost had some advantages, but they just haven't quite been able to turn it into anything. And even there, you know, he gets a good chunk off, but he just gets hit by the Tarek stun and just locked up. It's a bit of a misplay.
Yeah, there's a
from
little bit of a
Zepho.
disconnect between Riffraff and Zepho, really. It kind of seems like what's going on. They haven't had a lot of games together, it seems like. Jimmy Big Ball's having to flash away from this.
Alpha Bear's
Not what you
looking at
want
top
from
side.
your huge tank that you've decided to put up in this top lane. You really want him to be able to handle a 2v2 without... a 2v1 without flash, rather.
Now, UBW's could be eyeing the Rift Herald. Should be a pretty easy take for them with Zepho trying to just break this bottom tower here. Yeah, just not quite as far ahead as
Yeah,
they
this
want
is
him
great.
to be.
Tarek all the way up here. Zepho trying... Oh my gosh, he's taking so much damage from Blue just on his own. Like,
Look how
the thing about this Varus pick is he's just not scared of what Brand brings to the table.
Oh, Zepho's flashing in. He
flash
finds the
forward,
stun, but he's gonna
Maybe
die for it.
Not wrong. Yeah,
Oh,
Blue
no.
takes him out, and Blue lives.
I think
And MCPA getting a solo kill on the mid lane from his ultimate. And
I
now
think he
Papa Bear's
expected-
coming in. He's going to suppress Patty, but not for very long. And now Tarek's here to save his life. But the Tristana is there, but he's not going to be able to do it too much. MCPA is just so fed. He's just bonking down whoever comes near him. Doesn't have ult. Gets
Ult
the
just got
Q,
absolutely
gets the
destroyed.
fear, annihilates him.
Yeah, there's a lot of things happening at once. I respect the attempt from Zepho, but without any follow-up from Riffraff, I mean, I don't think there was any chance that Zepho was getting out alive, and he didn't quite have the damage to kill Blue. And with the teleport coming out from Patty, it's likely that Riffraff might have made the right choice to let his support go there. And we just see, I mean, this is the strength of the Varus. He's been 2v1 for so much of this lane, but he has a decent amount of wave clear, and the amount of burst damage and pick potential that he has, it's like if he's able to, you know, he outranges this brand is not really able to poke him out too much. He has to burn the flash to hit anything on him. And every time he takes a Q, that's 300, and if ever he gets hit by the ultimate, he's been going down as well.
Yep.
And they've tried so hard to put Blue behind this game to try and get the brand ahead, and it just has not panned out
Doesn't
for
work
them.
at all. The fact that they were able to, this blue is coming out of that lane, even in CS 4-1. Like that's a tragedy. And it kind of comes down to MCPNA's impact in the early game again. Like he's just everywhere, and he focuses a lot of his resources on bot lane. And I say it time and time again, like, why wouldn't you want to put your resources? Oh, Jimmy Big Balls gets a big hook in there, but I'm not sure that's exactly what he wants. Terracall gets immediately flashed out. Oh, but guess who gets blown up? Which is Tambo. And now Patty goes down to Tristana. Another hook, but it misses. But oh,
Bear.
guess who still has his ult? Papa Bear does.
All
Flash forward.
MCPNA.
Yep.
Oh,
That's
he
a huge
falls.
step down. It's a 4-for-1 going over to large testicles. Sorry,
Jimmy
my
Big
voice.
Balls. I mean,
Yeah, he's called Jimmy
he
Big
makes
Balls
the
for a
play.
reason.
Absolutely. I mean, on the Malphite game, he's doing what he can, and right there on the Nautilus, he finds the hook that his team needs to get his, you know, a good fight. And once Riffraff starts to get the resets, once Blue's position is compromised there, the fight becomes a lot more playable, and Papa Bear with a good ultimate to make sure the back half of that fight was won for LTI. And yeah, they're fighting back now. You know, they're down 7 kills, but they're ahead in a dragon, and they've closed the gold lead to only 900. And, you know, as I was saying before,
Right.
this is a hard to execute team comp from BBW. It's not as simple as just showing up at the team fight. You know, you
Yep.
have to leverage the split push, you have to leverage the side lane pressure so you can make the most of the Nocturne, make the most of the Mundo and the Ahri, who are, you know, pretty good side laners on their own, but once they show up to the team fight there, you saw them just losing out into the massive amounts of damage that LTI has drafted this game.
It really just comes down to the captain, Jimmy Big Balls, just trying to make the play. Forced it by going in, getting the hook, not scared of Tambo's retaliation. And, you know, props to Riffraff for following that call and that play. They were immediately jumping on that pick and really turned the fight there. Yeah, look at this gold, dude. It's 1,000 between the two. Like, 2 minutes in this game can change.
All right, for some reason my hotkey to show gold graph doesn't work anymore, unless I forgot what the button is. I thought it was X. Usually it's X. It's just broken right now. Okay, whatever. Riot Games, small indie company, but I mean, yeah, Riffraff. You know, despite them not really being able to do much in the 2v2 as far as kills, they were able to get a lot of the
Another
plates.
Jimmy Big Balls hook. Zepho getting a lot of his damage, and Tambo using his ult so late to the last second. Wow.
Does he die?
Is Comet gonna get him? Oh no, Comet doesn't get him.
The shield at the last moment and the ultimate coming out. That was as late as possible there.
As late as possible, dude.
Yeah, he stays alive, but regardless, you know, Riffraff, as I was saying, is in a pretty good position now, but
Max
MCPNA
doesn't
is
want
relentless
the
with the
smoke.
ultimate.
He doesn't want the smoke at all, but here comes Zepho. Might be able to do something. No, he's alone now.
No, he is
And Rain comes is
weak.
here, and a TP coming into the
They're looking on the Riffraff
Baron
now.
pit. Oh, Riffraff actually getting a huge angle here. Gets a pick, able to jump away.
Might
Salvage
still be in
something.
trouble here.
Oh, actually, still, yeah, you're right. Still in trouble.
Here's Jimmy
but
Big
here
Balls,
comes
though.
Jimmy Big Balls trying to do something to save
He's
him.
keeping Riffraff
Riffraff
alive!
turns on Patty.
The Herald!
God, he's
Cleans
going to be
him
able
up.
to take him down here, but oh, MCPNA is still alive, and Tambo is here to join the party as well. This is a disaster, I think, actually, for Large Testicles, as Papa Bear has to run with his fluffy tail between his legs. And also the Herald marching down. Actually, they're going to pick him up here. Goes down, and oh my goodness, with the
ace.
Herald alive, that's an ace, and that's going to be 2 towers in mid lane.
I mean,
They're going to jump back
MCPNA
into that thing. Yep.
starting off the fight, killing off Schmank. That's a lot of damage gone. And, you know, as good as the play was from Riffraff to get the solo kill, Jimmy Big Balls comes to try and salvage the play, but it's MCPNA once again who puts down the Herald and rides it like a train straight into Riffraff to clean up the kill and secure the fight win and secure the ace. Now 10-2 and 5 on the Nocturne. Absolutely everywhere.
If it's one thing MSI taught everybody this season, it's what you can actually do with the Herald. And it's crazy. It's wild what you can, the playmaking capabilities of that thing.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's not completely won for BBW just yet. I mean, that was a nice win. They're able to get some towers,
but man, you can't help but feel like they're Sisyphus pushing the rock up the hill. You know, they get so far and then it just falls right back on top of them.
Yeah, and now they're actually going to be trying to get the Otacon here. They got the Otacon last game. Didn't save them in the end, but MCPNA is not actually here for the fight quite yet. He's trying to get in range with the ultimate.
Gets Patty, gets the ult out. Now Papa Bear's trying to follow up. Oh, but the knock.
Patty ults out, but now Papa Bear's in trouble.
Now Papa Bear's in trouble. Oh no.
And the rain comes as TP's back up. MCPNA's in range to ult now, and the Otacon play is foiled.
Otacon back up. Everybody from BBW is there, but you know, this could still, something could still happen here.
Zepho's looking for the
big
ultimate.
Hook. Oh, but
the Taric ultimate is huge. Look how much damage is here.
That's everybody down. Holy moly.
The AoE from BBW makes that fight so easy for them. We saw how much
Patty
damage
says,
there.
call an ambulance, but not for me.
Absolutely. That's, I mean, Papa Bear dying there, so unfortunate. And, you know, we've kind of made fun of the play before, but, you know, LTI, I feel like they're in a desperate situation, still tries to opt into the 4v5. And the Taric ulti plus the AoE damage, I mean, Zepho's just having such a hard time staying alive this game. So much pick potential, so much burst damage from BBW.
LTI has to know when to not fight. Like, man.
I mean, yeah, as I was saying before, they weren't too far behind before, but now that gold lead's ballooned after that to 6,000 as they were able to pick up the Otacon, pick up a few more kills. And they look to the Dragon now, and the Dragon, I mean, LTI's pinging it. We'll see what they end up trying to do here. They have 4 here, but Jimmy is nowhere near the play, and he's kind of the one that's been making everything happen for his team. So they're just going to give it up. They're going to keep looking. Zepho's completely caught out of position. He does flash out.
There's a lot of damage.
Papa Bear just ults in and misses everybody.
No,
it's
guys,
a disaster.
the go button is it needs to be protected.
Wait, but look at Schmack. Schmack's getting hit. Schmack's hitting onto Blue. Blue doesn't even fall though. The healing.
Blue doesn't care. He's staying alive with 1 HP. Jimmy's finally here. He's topside with no TP.
Look who's online. It's the Mundo. He's now 6-0.
Yep.
And that was a mess.
They can't quite end here.
I mean, LTI again, a hopeless Dragon contest turns into Zepho being caught out of position.
Yep.
He's able to flash out and stay alive, but once Papa Bear ults in, I mean, they're opting
You have to
into a
wonder
fight
who
that
the
just
shot
looks so
caller is
bad.
here, because it seems like, you know, they're given these chances, right? And they take them and they win some of these fights off of maybe like a big Jimmy Big Balls play or something. But there doesn't seem to be a cohesive person calling for, you know, the go button, for example. Yeah, it doesn't seem like LTI just has that guy that is the one, like the voice of reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That kind of speaks to you what to do.
Not quite on the
and
same
what not to
page.
do.
And with, I mean, the indecision, you can see it, and it's hurting them so much in this game. It's now ballooned to about an 8,000 gold lead. Not
There's no one on their team that says no, you know?
Yeah. 8,000 gold lead, I mean, we've seen them go away, but BBW this game still is firmly in control. They get the
Zepho?
root down onto
Immediate
Zepho.
ult
Zepho's
out.
stuck.
Yeah.
But now, the jungler here,
Just trying to
Papa
do
Bear
too
coming
much.
in. Nope, he's dead. It's a desperate attempt, but in the end, they're not going to find anything. And now MCPNA on the top side.
It's just a disaster map wide. I mean, they're just getting completely destroyed at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they lose the 3v3 bot side, they lose the 2v2 top side. Now both of these lanes are going to be pushing into them. It's only Schmack left alive now, who just had to burn the flash from Tambo just walking up on him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
it's just-
and the Zepho on this 3 and 10, you know, it's kind of one of those situations where it's like, you know, if you're on a bad, you know, you're a great quarterback on a bad football team, you know, you throw a lot of interceptions because you're trying to make plays, and that's what Zepho's doing right now. He's just trying way too hard to try to make something happen, and it's leading to a lot of deaths and a lot of misplays, which his team ends up following into their deaths as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with Brand is when Brand has a bad game, it's a really bad game. You have a lot of deaths, and the reality is BBW has the tools to kind of punish Zepho looking for plays. So like we saw the Varus ult, you know, once it gets onto Zepho, he's just dead. Basically 10 out of 10 times. If that connects, he's dead. And that's happened about 10 times this game. And I respect the attempt to look for stuff, but once again, he gets hit by the Varus ult, and this is going to be time number 11.
Yeah.
He goes down once again. Not quite at the power spike yet. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
he's
the-
trying to do too much, man. You're gonna throw interceptions if you try the Hail Marys.
He does. I mean, he does a little bit of damage. Blue ends up at half HP, but it's gonna be a pretty easy Baron now for BBW. MCPNA has just been running this game for them, but it almost looks like the whole team of BBW, they're drafting better. They're playing. I was worried about, you know, this is a comp that requires a little bit more execution than a lot of the stuff we normally see in here. But they've been making it work. I mean, the Varus has looked excellent. And this is why it's such a high priority pick. It's just so much utility, so much burst damage, strong laning, strong range. It's exactly what you need out of your AD carry. And here, now Papa Bear is going to have to ult away, but MCPNA has something to say about it.
Yeah, they're just gonna take the picks when they can get them. They're so far ahead now that anytime someone makes a small misstep, the pick is there, you know?
And now, like, the one hope for L2 guy before, which is, you know, Riff Raff was in a pretty solid position earlier, but now his whole team has just been dead, and he's not really had the opportunity to fight. And now you look at the inventories, and all of these people on the side of BBW is just so much harder to kill than they were before. Tarek picking up the Warden's Mail. This Mundo, absolute menace in the side lane now.
Yeah,
The Heartsteel.
6-0.
There's a third item Heartsteel, which I don't think I've ever seen before, but
He's got a whole grand total of 33 stacks. So.
yeah. just clocking in his first stack right there, I believe.
His first
Oh.
stack.
I respect it. I mean, he's pretty tough to kill. They're gonna pick up a free dragon here. Thankfully, LTI at least they were able to get a couple dragons, so they don't really have to worry about soul for a while. But I mean, now you're down by what at this point hasn't been a surmounted gold lead so far. You know, I've seen the 8K gold leads fall. I have not seen the 13,000 gold leads.
Seen it either.
Get
Don't
thrown
leave
yet.
it outside of PMALCS, but I'd have to say the gold lead doesn't tell me anything. It's the play choices that are being made from LTI that kind of
But
tell
now
me that this
the
might
ring
be
comes
all that she
might be in
wrote.
a bit of trouble here. He's in the 3v1.
I mean, he's
Papa Bear
ginormous.
wants
I don't
to
think he
look.
cares.
He might have to care here. There's 4.
Oh,
Zepho's
okay,
here. They
that's
have
a lot
lot
of damage. Brand
now.
is here. Brand is going to be able to do the damage to kick him out, but he's going to try his best to take someone. Oh, that's 1,000 gold over to Warwick.
Well, that's how it starts, right? The huge
Gosh, can't
shutdown,
help it.
the huge comebacks always start with the 1K gold shutdown from what I've
That's
seen.
true. That's true.
And you know they're able to BBW this game though. They're able to pick up a couple. They actually don't connect on
The
the
20K
chains of
gold
corruption here,
lead
but
dreams, I think, die with that pick.
burning the Edge of Night with the hook there. That was a crazy hook to land. Would have been a massive one if the Edge of Night had been broken up at that point, but not going to end up mattering. But yeah, I mean, 2 inhibs falling. They probably don't even feel that bad about the Raincomes dying there because they're just able to completely break open the base.
The only one that feels bad is Raincome's not having a perfect game.
It's still a pretty stellar game from him.
Yeah, huge.
And if I'm not mistaken,
BBW not taking.
the rain comes is one of their last picks in the draft, if I remember correctly here. And yeah, 5th pick top laner. You don't really expect them to be as solid as they are, but you know, he's been playing great. He's been playing great in a lot of his games, and they're actually trying to look on a Tambo here. Tambo is gonna have to burn the ultimate.
Kind of in a rock and a hard place here, but it looks like he might have enough. Nope, he goes down, and a big ult comes over onto MCPNA, but that's just to dissuade the rest of the fight as Paddy starts taking down the Nexus turrets here. Oh,
Yeah, good
Zepho
split push
flashing
there.
out.
I'd love to see that that BBW is kind of leveraging, you know, when somebody dies, you know, the fact that they had to send 4 over, it's a really good sign that you can go ahead and push those towers, and they've been good about that.
Yep.
You know, with the rain comes falling, they're able to get both inhibs. And now with Tambo falling, they're able to get the first Nexus tower, so that means the logical solution to this is for, like, 2 people on BBW just to completely run it down, and then you end the game, right?
Right.
You get one more tower, and then you get the Nexus, so we'll be looking to see if they can successfully run it down here and finish off the game. That being said, if you're BBW, you don't really want this to take any longer than it has to. It looks like they're probably just gonna have to wait until Baron here. But you know, every moment that the game continues, the gold lead starts to not matter as much. And we're not quite at that point yet, but you know, it's something to take note of. If they're not able to close the game out with this next Baron, the fact that they're up by 11,000 gold is just simply not going to matter anymore as Triss starts to pick up her 4th and 5th item, and Schmack continues to scale up. He's looking towards, I believe, a Rabadon's. And they would absolutely love to have the game continue long enough for them to see those power spikes, and once they get there, you never actually know for certain how these fights will turn out.
Yeah, this is a pretty huge gold lead for BBW. I kind of wish that they would pressure a little bit harder with that gold lead. It's almost as if they could walk into one of these lanes and just fight and see what happens.
Yeah.
But instead
they're controlling the jungle. They're making it hard for any camps to be secured, any vision to be secured. And it looks like they're just trying to play the slow and safe route, which isn't too bad. You know, I'd rather that than have them completely throw the game in a really bad team fight that starts with 2 people getting caught and the rest trying to salvage out. You know, that's definitely something that's possible. But they are strong. They're going to walk these waves in, and with Baron coming up in 10 seconds, after they clear this, they're probably going to start making their way up there. Looks like they will.
Lethality Varus really starting to lose its relevance as well at this point.
That's fair. I will say, in the right game, in the right pilot, Lethality Varus can scale really well. I remember watching a Viper game where he was playing Varus, and he had some team fight at Elder where he did 15,000 damage somehow. I think there was another game, it was Varus Poke versus Schmack. Gets chunked out right here before the Soul Point Dragon. And now Zepho's gonna try and look for a fast play.
What are you doing? You just blind walking into River?
Oh my god, Papa Bear doesn't quite connect with him.
Doesn't
Schmack
get
and Patty
him.
are brawling on the
He's
other
still
side.
alive!
MCPNE lives! No! Oh, disaster. I mean, Riffraff trades back 1. Riffraff's still pretty strong. He's on the 4 items now. He's gonna jump in.
Here comes
he flashes the
Nocturne
stun.
well. He just decides to go back in. Don't big deal. MCPNA still alive. And a huge win. That's got to be the game. That's 4 for 1 going over to the side of BBW.
Yeah, that fight was anything but clean. It was on every front. The mid laners were 1v1, and Papa Bear was diving in to try and get the kill on MCPNA. But in the end, the only one that comes out on top is Schmack and Riffraff, who was able to finish up the kill there. But MCPNA living the fight, getting healed up by Tarek, and able to run in and close the job. The flash, Chains of Corruptions is going to connect, and that's all she wrote.
That's it. That's it.
Zepho can do nothing in this game. 4 and 12. Such a difficult game to play on the brand.
Schmack having a bad time as well from all that all that jungle influence on top of him.
Yeah. I mean, the pick tools leveraged perfectly by BBW, and in their first series, we really see this team's strength. You know, I think going in, a lot of people were pretty high on this team, and we finally get to see what they're capable of. Very impressive win for them.
Unfortunately, large testicles not getting their first win of the season. Came as close as they could. The brand doing so much damage, but just not enough. Trying to make too many plays happen, getting caught out in a lot of ways. But yeah, it's interesting to see how that team transitions into try and pick up some wins into the next week here. Blue coming up big on the Varus. Interesting to see how BBW continues since Blue is a sub because he's on my team mostly. But um, yeah, good banger of a series. Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we need to get an MVP vote in for game 2. Wonder if I can remake the same poll with the same let's see, duplicate. Does this work? Oh, it does. This is so, look at this straw poll genius. Um let's see. I'll get a link in the chat so we can vote on this game's MVP, and then I think if people are around, I'm happy to do an interview as well. But yeah, I mean that game. That's the issue with Brand. You have to compromise your position so much to deal
Yep.
damage if you don't have a front line that's strong enough. And you know he was able to chunk out. I mean, he's kind of damage farming a little bit, but yeah, it's so hard. The amount of times where he just tried to walk up, tried to have impact, and then just got sniped out by a Chains of Corruption or Nocturne Ultimate or something like that is it's tough. It's hard to play, and they weren't quite able to get it done. The pick tools from BBW just too strong. Let's get an update on the game 1 MVP. Looks like game 1 MVP was the rain comes in the
Okay.
top lane with the Scion, the huge
The
flank.
Scion. Yeah, the two, not just one, but he had a few really good flanks.
Mm-hmm.
What's game? What's game 2 looking like?
MCPNA currently with
Yeah.
3 votes to 0 on anybody else. So probably safe to say he takes the MVP from this one, and that's absolutely deserved. 13, 2, and 14. This is the most commanding jungle performance that we've seen so far this season. And he's really
Yeah, I mean,
making a statement in his first game in the league.
yes, per season. Yeah, MCPNA. Like I say, he subbed for my team last on Friday. Really awesome. I did really well for us as well. Um, I'd say covering for Maya is a big ask, and he definitely filled the shoes. Um, was able to play a carry jungler in this team the way that their team is set up, and that seems to be like where he really shines. And it's really awesome to see another good jungler joining the ranks.
All right,
Sad
so I
to
had
see
this
where he
issue
goes.
last time. Is anyone actually able to move uh, the rain comes and MCPNA over to our channel so we can interview them?
Where's is Hoagie still around? Hoagie can do it. Any mods in the chat? Kenta and Zepho going at it. You love to see it.
Yeah.
Um,
Zepho steaming a little bit after an unfortunate start to his season.
we might have to jump to a open channel and just hope no one interrupts. But
Absolutely. I guess we can. Uh, we'll hop into a join here lobby and hope that they join up. Whoever wants to get interviewed, I guess.
Hello?
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Hello, hello.
I forget that your stupid entrance is the fucking smoke alarm, dumbass.
We love it. What do you mean?
Congratulations, guys, on the 2-0 win. Pretty commanding performance in both games. Playing the engaged comp in game 1 to perfection. Tambo looking like I don't know, Prime Mako or something with some of those engages. Absolutely well played. Game 1 MVP. The rain comes on the Scion with the huge flank at the end. Absolutely massive. And then game 2, MCPNA taking over on the Nocturne gets MVP then. So how are you guys feeling? Your first real game of the season.
Pretty good, man. Not gonna lie, especially with the way the buy system works, I think we're in
Now,
sole
shut
possession of first
up,
place right now.
dude.
So
Jesus.
Well, you're currently the only undefeated team in the league, as the MNM actually ended up dropping their series 2-0 last Friday. So now you guys are the front runners in the league. What do you guys think your odds of taking the entire tournament down?
It's just take it one game at a time. Go against every team like it's a new team, new week, and just try to be better as players. Work together.
Who do you think will be your most fearsome competition as you guys fight for first place?
there are a couple really solid teams that we're already kind of thinking about. Obviously, the Masterminds No Masters comes to mind.
Bad team. Beat them tied them 1-1. Just saying.
Yeah, they had a sub.
That would be.
Hey, all I gotta say is gonna be absolute cinema when we're up against you, man.
Yeah, it'll be good. I mean, Crunchy Watermelon, also another team up there. I think they have a pretty solid roster. Some other teams. We don't actually play Shogun's team unless we make it to playoffs.
Good, 'cause
So
that's-
I
If we
think,
win, we don't want to give you guys too much easy work,
yeah, right. So definitely like Kyle's mom's favorite men is another team to look out for. I think. And you can never count out some of the old heads like Flesh and Neil's team. So
Yeah, Fwesh having an okay start to the season, but he's definitely lost some of his hands. So we'll see how he progresses as he
he's
kind
got
of
those
shakes the
old man
rust off.
conductor hands now.
The more you play
Um,
TFT, the worse you get at Summoner's Rift. I'm convinced.
I think that's
Next
true.
week, you guys will be against Always Down to Climax from the looks of it. Cvan's team. So how are you guys feeling about going into that matchup? Any prep work done, or you guys think it'll just be easy work to take home the 2-0 and keep your spot at the top of the league?
I think it depends. We haven't done any prep for it yet. We'll probably start looking at that soon. But I think we match up pretty well against them. I mean, obviously Cvan's a really good player. I don't know what Bees' schedule is like, so I don't know if they're gonna have someone sub for them or anything like that. But
Mhm.
we'll play it by ear and adjust as needed.
And as you get the 2-0 here against LTI Large Testicles Incorporated, led by Jimmy Big Balls, they as you guys move to effectively 4-0, they're falling to 0-4 on the season. They had a tough game against MNM in the first week as well. So do you have any advice for them as they look to pick up their first win?
What was the hardest thing you played against on that team? What was giving you guys the most frustration through this series?
I think the Vagar was honestly like pretty annoying to deal
Sure.
with. I mean that champ just cuts off any engage sometimes, any and all engage, and it just no matter what you do, that champ just scales beyond anything anyone's able to really deal with past a certain point. So, I mean, I think he threw some of the cages out a little like too early sometimes. I think if he waits for us to make an engage and then like throw the cage down and disrupt everything else, some of those fights could have gone differently. I think they need to probably just solidify what they want to do with their roster positions because I mean they have a lot of people that can flex. I think it's just about like finding what works best.
Yeah, they were running Schmack last week, and this week they had Papa Bear, and unfortunately, their jungle woes continuous. They play against possibly two of the best junglers in the league, so kind of unfortunate
Yeah,
how
it doesn't
the
help.
schedule worked out for them. But trial by fire for whoever ends up being solidified in that jungle spot. Are there any final messages you guys have for the fans, the watchers?
Hansu bad.
He does suck. That's true.
Yep. Well, there you go. Hansu bad. That's the word, and congratulations again, guys, on your 2-0
On
win
the 2-0.
in your first game. I'm excited to see you guys continue throughout the season.
Yeah, thanks
With
for
that-
streaming, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, see you guys on
Really
the
appreciate it.
see you guys on the Rift.
Yep.
Absolutely. And thank you for everyone who stopped in to watch. It was a fun time. I've been Glacial alongside Buddy here.
Yep.
And you all have a good rest of your night.
Good night, everybody.